Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio presents deficit budget of 2,212.74 crore rupees for financial year 2022-23. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio says when Naga Peace talks concluded without solution, expectation of people was betrayed. MLA Imkong L Imchen said that Article 356 may be invoked in Nagaland if continuation of election is making hindrance in the ongoing political negotiation. And Nagaland government introduces two significant initiatives, Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative and Chief Minister's Health Insurance Scheme. As we start the bulletin, we appeal our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio today presented a deficit budget of 2,212.74 crore rupees for the financial year 2022-23. Rio, who also holds the finance portfolio, put forth the budget proposals, estimating the gross receipts at 23,389.80 crore rupees and gross expenditure at 24,239.50 crore rupees. He said the transaction for the year 2022-23 is estimated to result in a positive balance of 150.30 crore rupees. Rio said because of the negative balance of 2,363.04 crore rupees, the year 2022-23 is estimated to close with a negative balance of 2,212.74 crore rupees. Chief Minister Rio said, due to the state's acute financial condition and the ever-growing expenditure of the government, steps have been taken to enhance revenues in various sectors and also to enhance efficiency. He said details of how to effect the measures have already been examined and approved by the State Cabinet and will soon be put into effect. He said both tax and non-tax combined have crossed 1,500 crore rupees during 2021-22 and is expected to grow during 2022-23 by about 8%. Rio said a significant contribution to the non-tax revenue of the state is expected in the power sector. He said power revenue is expected to cross 2,000 crore rupees for the first time. Attributing prepaid metering for the improvement in the power sector, Rio said the government will continue to expand this initiative. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio has said that the Naga political issue continues to dominate the minds of the Naga people. In his concluding remark on the discussion of matters of urgent public importance pertaining to the Naga political issue in the Assembly today, Rio said, with this in mind, the 60 elected representatives of the State Assembly has come together to play the role of a facilitator to expedite the negotiations. He said the central government has accepted that the Naga political issue is unique and sensitive, which can only be solved politically. Rio said with a framework agreement signed in August 2015, negotiation and dialogue began, and in October 2019, the talk concluded, but there were still no words about a solution. Emphasizing that when the talks concluded without a solution, the expectation of the people has been betrayed. He said if the negotiating parties cannot come to a settlement, there should be a fresh mandate from the people. However, the Chief Minister said the people should fight for their genuine rights in a peaceful and non-violent manner. MLA Imkong L Imchen has said that the central government may invoke Article 356 of the Constitution of India if continuance of election system in the state is making any negative hindrance in the ongoing political negotiation. Addressing the discussion on matters of urgent public importance pertaining to the Naga political issue in the Assembly today, he lamented that it is now 25 years since the political talks started, and yet there is no sign of progress coming out of the negotiations. Imkong said several unanimous resolutions were adopted by the successive August House, but there was no semblance of acknowledgement from any of the negotiating parties, including the central government. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio has said that his government is taking a major step towards universal health coverage for all the citizens, and in the current financial year, it will launch the Chief Minister's Health Insurance Scheme. In his budget speech presented in the State Assembly today, Rio said this scheme will provide every citizen with hospitalization insurance cover of up to 5 lakh rupees per annum, irrespective of family income. The scheme will provide cashless services for the predefined packages covering secondary and tertiary care procedures at empaneled government or private hospitals, both within and outside the state. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio said the government will introduce the Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative in the current fiscal to facilitate credit flow to farmers and young entrepreneurs. Announcing this in his budget speech, Rio said the scheme will make credit more affordable and available to individuals, self-help groups and farmer-producer organizations. He said government will provide for either subsidy or interest subvention against identified activities in the agriculture and allied sector, including for processing units, handicrafts and small-scale manufacturing units. As a part of this initiative, Rio proposed to remove the stamp duty on crop loans. The Chief Minister informed that an amount of 65 crore rupees is earmarked for the scheme. On the third day of the budget session of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly today, Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio laid Annual Administrative Reports 2021-22 of 14 departments, which include Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Water Resources, Power, Border Affairs, and others. The Chief Minister also laid the Nagaland State Disaster Management Rules 2007, the Nagaland Government Printing Press Technical Amended Service Rules 2022, the Nagaland Public Service Commission Chairman, Members and Staff Regulations 2008 with amendment up to 13th of December 2021, Nagaland Electricity Regulatory Commission Separate Audit Report for the years 2009-10 to 2017-18. Rio, who is also the Minister in charge of Finance, introduced the Nagaland Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Fifth Amendment Bill 2022. He also presented the State Finance Audit Report of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India for the year ended 31st March 2020, Report Number 1 of 2021, Appropriation Accounts 2019-20 and Finance Accounts Volume 1-2 2019-20, including the supplementary demand for grants for the year 2021-22. The House passed the Nagaland Village and Tribal Councils Fifth Amendment Bill 2022 and the Nagaland Groundwater Regulation and Control of Development and Management Bill 2022. A discussion on matters of urgent public importance pertaining to Naga political issue was taken up, which was initiated by MLA Imkong Imchen. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, who also holds the finance portfolio, presented the state budget for the year 2022-23. Later, the Speaker adjourned the House till Thursday. Nagaland Legislative Assembly has informed that the nomination papers of BJP-sponsored candidate for the biennial election to the state's lone Rajya Sabha seat, S. Pangnuang Konyak, has been found valid after scrutiny. Along with the rest of the country, Dimapur today observed World Water Day under the theme Groundwater, Making the Invisible Visible. Addressing the inaugural program, Executive Engineer PHET Dimapur Bendang Tola Walling stressed on the importance of conserving groundwater and propagated rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge. Walling later flagged off the silent rally from Morong Junction, which culminated at DDSC Stadium. During the program, Miss Nagaland 2021, Maroni Kuvang administered the pledge. Prizes for the best posters were also given the participants from schools and colleges of Dimapur. There were also reports of observing World Water Day from other districts across Nagaland. And now to enter news, here are the main points again. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio presents deficit budget of 2,212.74 crore rupees for financial year 2022-23. Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio says when Naga Peace talks concluded without solution, expectation of people was betrayed. MLA Imkong L Imchen said that Article 356 may be invoked in Nagaland if continuation of election is making hindrance in the ongoing political negotiation. And Nagaland government introduces two significant initiatives, Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative and Chief Minister's Health Insurance Scheme. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.